They're running over now.
They're running over. Hi. Thank you. Oh, good to have one of these.
I'll make a copy if you want to bring it back.
Well, I didn't try to go again. Before when I went, it was closed. I got a call from
Hi, how can I see you?
set your camera up here, or you can sit in the seat and you have to see.
That's fine.
I'm good, I'm good.
Richie, you got a mic for me?
Thank you. So
What? You can vote,
Yes.
All right, thank you so much.
Good night.
Maya, we met. Yeah, really nice to meet you. Let's see if that's for
I believe so, yes. You're welcome.
Hey, man. Good?
Still at it. Time you got it.
What's that?
Time you started. Three. Still at it. Almost. Almost up. Huh? Oh, you did build up. It's the build up.
Yes, yeah. Mike was definitely take care of it. Fine.
Other business goes.
I felt so much pressure on this guy.
Yeah.
So you have one?
I do.
I have one.
Do you know what
You want to put your you want to put your ladder just so that you could sit comfortably. Are you joking?
We'll use this tomorrow.
Hey, how is it down there?
What do you guys
He's stuck in traffic on the FDR right now.
He is?
Trump, yeah. How is that possible? I thought they like cleared the street.
President.
So we had people coming over across properties. Yeah, we could get here. Other cops go around still. Yeah.
It won't harm it. Is it? 975.
Yeah, we can stop by that.
Thank you.
You might be.
You'll get a rush at the end.
Hey.
Hey, how are you? I'm good. How are you? Hi, good afternoon. Thank you.
Typically, we might go through in 10 minutes or a half hour.
Guys, Gina.
I need to keep this aisle clear. So if you don't have a still cameraman sitting there in the aisle, I ask that still camera get priority so they can shoot.
I'm not giving you.
Hey, down.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here today.
Down.
Earlier this afternoon, Donald Trump was arraigned on a New York Supreme Court indictment returned by a Manhattan grand jury on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records in the first degree. Under New York state law, that is exactly what this case is about. 34 false statements, felony crimes in New York State, no matter who you are. We cannot and will not normalize serious criminal conduct. He repeatedly made false statements on New York business records. He also caused others formed in 2017. This simply was not true. And it was a false statement that the defendant made month after month in 2017. May, June, and so on through the rest of the year. For 9 straight months containing this key lie, that he was paying Michael Cohen for legal services performed. The grand jury found there were 34 documents with this critical false statement. Why did Donald Trump? The evidence will show that he did so to cover up crimes relating to the 2016 election. Donald Trump, executives at the publishing company American Media Incorporated, Mr. Cohen, and others agreed in 2015 to a catch and kill scheme. That is, a scheme to Mr. Trump's chance of winning the election. As part of this scheme, Donald Trump and others made 3 payments to people who claimed to have negative information about Mr. Trump. To make these payments, they set up shell companies, and they made yet more false statements, including, for example, in AMI, American Media Incorporated's business records. One of the 3 people that they paid to keep quiet was a woman named Stormy Daniels. Cohen wired $130,000 to Stormy Daniels' lawyer. That payment was to hide damaging information from the voting public. The participant scheme was illegal. New York election law, which makes it a crime to conspire to promote a candidacy by unlawful means. The New York law. That is why Mr. Trump made false statements about his payments to Mr. Cohen. He cannot simply say that true statement would have been to admit a crime. So instead, Mr. Trump said that he was paying Mr. Cohen for fictitious legal services in 2017 to cover up actual crime committed the prior year. And in order to get Michael Cohen his statement, in order to complete the scheme, they planned to mischaracterize the payments to Mr. Cohen as income to the New York State tax authorities. True and accurate business records are important everywhere, to be sure. They are all the more important in Manhattan, the financial center of the world. That is why we have a history that has charged hundreds of felony falsifying business records. This charge can be said is the bread and butter of our white-collar work. And fraud presents itself in all different forms here in Manhattan. Federal bank secrecy laws. We have charged falsifying business records for those who were seeking charge, for those who committed tax violations. At its core, this case today is one with allegations like so many of our white-collar cases. Allegations that someone lied again and again. We today uphold our solemn responsibility to everyone stands equal before the law. No amount of money and no...
So we're going to take a limited number of
and why now? I mean, some argue that this is a political move. They're not, the hurricanes are going to go into the next, political season. Why now?
We conducted a thorough and rigorous investigation, as we're known to do, at the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. I've been doing this for 24 years and am no stranger to rigorous, complex investigations. I bring cases when they're ready.
That there were 34 false business. It does not specifically say what those crimes were. We are assuming, perhaps, that they might be election-related. I'm wondering if you can specify what laws were also broken.
All right. So let me say as an initial matter that the indictment doesn't specify that because the law does not so require. In my remarks, I mentioned a couple of laws, which I will highlight again now. The first indicated a number of unlawful means, including more additional false statements, including statements that were planned to be made to tax authorities. I also noted this.
But why weren't there those crimes charged? Why wasn't he charged with those crimes?
Well, I'm not going to go into our deliberative process on what was brought. The charges that were brought were the ones that were brought. The evidence in the law is the basis for those decisions.
What were some of the questions in your mind that needed to be answered in order to bring a case, with this magnitude?
I'm not going to go chapter and verse into any thinking. What I will say is, I believe the time period you're talking about, I'd been in office for a couple of months. The investigation, in my view, was not concluded into the conduct in particular that is the basis for the charges today. Since that time, we've had more evidence made available to the office and opportunity to meet with additional witnesses. So, as I said earlier, I've been doing this for 24 years. I don't bring cases prior to a thorough and rigorous investigation. Now, having done so, the case has been brought.
Your predecessor took a hard look at this case and decided not to charge it. Federal prosecutors took a hard look at this case and decided not to charge it. Do you believe you have new evidence to decide to charge this, or why now?
Well, as I mentioned, we have had available to the office additional evidence that was not in the office's possession prior to my time here. And as to your part of your question about the federal, we have a distinct and strong, I would say profound, independent interest in New York State. This is the bedrock, in fact, the basis for business integrity and a well-functioning business market, true and accurate record keeping. That's the charge that's brought here, falsifying New York.
Yeah. Thank you. DA Bragg, I'm just going to read back one line from your statement of facts. The participants also took steps that mischaracterized for tax purposes the true nature of payments and furtherance of the scheme. Do you allege former President Trump was one of the participants who mischaracterized the payments for tax purposes?
I'm not going to go beyond business records. The charge requires, as I specified, criminal conduct that was concealed. One of the concealed crimes we allege is New York State election law. I sort of went through text messages, emails, contemporaneous phone records, multiple witnesses. All of that will be, as you saw in the fall, borne out in a public courtroom in downtown Manhattan.
Last question is Jonah.
Charges you've brought, much of the case overall?
It's a, let me put your finger on that, because it's not just about one payment. It is 34 false statements in business records that were concealing criminal conduct. And the earlier question about New York State election law, when I talked about these, additional false statements, separate and apart from the charge ones, my documents, planned false statements to taxing authorities. It is not just that one $130,000 wire payment. Thanks so much.
Any comment about any violence by former president?
At what point do you think that that order is necessary?